Alex. Thank you.
You made it.
Oh,
I'm glad you were able to make it, man.
me too. Yo,
Okay, we got Mayhem in here too. Okay, we'll
I
just
don't know.
Snow's over in snow frame right now.
okay. Well, we can wait a few minutes.
Alright.
I don't know if it was Mayhem or who it was before, but they were coming in really weak. I could like barely hear what they were saying on the top video games. Did you listen to it?
Oh,
After?
yeah, I think Mayhem was turned down for some reason.
And are you able to boost his levels when that happens, or do you have to do it post?
Yeah, I can boost him. I have him at 92% right now. Let me just boost him up to 100.
Okay, I'm just looking out for you.
No, I appreciate that. Sorry, I'm just finishing eating up real quick.
That's okay. I'm eating chocolate too.
Nice. So, what I've been told is that Sweden is pretty spoiled for chocolate. You guys get like the best shit out there.
Uh-huh. So true.
It's not fair.
It is fair because you can get it there too.
I guess so, yeah. Like, we can get Milka and we can get Godiva or Godiva.
Swiss.
Oh, thank you, Metafactor, for the follow. Appreciate you. Because, yeah, isn't Milka Swedish?
No.
It's not.
Marabou is Swedish.
Oh, Marabou. Yeah, that's right. We can get Marabou here, but you have to find specific stores to get it at.
Yeah, they used to have it at IKEA, I think, but they may have stopped selling it. Okay, I just added my 10th. Oh, just barely.
Sweet. All right, let me pull up my list real quick.
Am I coming in okay, by the way?
Yeah, you sound fine.
Great.
Okay, top 10 movies. Let's go. All right, so while we're waiting on Snow to get in here, introductions. So Mayhem is someone that I've been streaming with for the last year or so.
Okay.
His buddy Snow, who is hopefully going to be joining us in the next few minutes, is also someone that I've been streaming with for a while. Really good people.
Is he East Coast?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I love East Coast people. Where East Coast?
Mayhem's from, I think, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island. Okay. That's not as exciting.
Oh, there's Snow.
What's up?
What's up, boy?
What's up, man?
All right, so we're just doing some intros. So this is my friend since first grade.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how you pronounce your chat name. Zephyr?
You got it.
All right, yeah.
Hi.
Zephyr. Yeah, I've known him since I was a little kid, so I invited him to join, and he was down, so he's here.
Yeah.
And then we've got Snowmaru, who is a wonderful streamer. You should all support and follow him if you can. We've got Mayhem, who's just a fuckboy. Like, he's basically our punching bag.
Mm.
No, we love Mayhem.
I got that from the last episode when you made a weight loss joke. That was pretty rude.
Yeah.
Was it Snow that made it?
We all have kind of an understanding, though. Like, we all tease each other.
I figured.
All right, let me get my lights on. I just put up my foam pads, so I'm hoping they stay up and don't fall down midstream. Also, for those of you who are not aware, this is my podcast series. This is just the second episode. It's a brand new baby boy. And so, what I'd like to do with this series is just shoot the shit with people, have fun, talk about things that we all love. Our first episode was about our top 10 video games, which I think we had a lot of fun with.
Yeah.
I think that was a really good intro to what I'd like to do. We had some goofs, some gaffes, some laughs, and we all made fun of each other. So that's what I'd like to do, is just have some fun with people. So let me go ahead. Oh, go ahead.
I'm just sad Rune's not here to enjoy
I
this.
know she wanted to be here. She said she was going to try to make it, but she also said that she's in the middle of moving. So,
Yeah.
So I'm hoping she can make it at some point. But Snow, I see your list now. Okay, perfect, dude. Oh my God. Okay, I already see movies on your list that I'm like, they were neck and neck with other movies.
Our memories have been remembered.
Oh my gosh, yes. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let me get into my screen here. We're gonna pause
Have you guys
that.
submitted your lists already, or
Yeah,
So
I just submitted my list.
Mayhem and Snow have both just Mayhem sent his yesterday, but Snow
where do
just
I put it?
sent. Oh well, they just DM'd me,
Oh, okay. I'll
but
do that too.
it's not like a requirement, but it will help
then I
me.
won't.
It will help
So,
me like organize kind of how things are going to go.
I'll make it
So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So what I'd like to do is kind of a round robin style. So we'll start with one of us. I think I'll go first just because I feel like that's easiest. And then we'll just kind of circle around between everyone for the first movie. And what I'd like to do is play the trailer or play like a blurb from YouTube on each movie, and then just kind of talk about it for a minute or two. So, my first movie. Oh, you're not supposed to see that. Is going to be this one right here. Hold on. Let me copy and paste. So this one is a classic, I think, for me. This was the first sci-fi movie that like really kind of just blew my mind. So of course we're talking about The Matrix.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, you can't really say much about this other than it's sci-fi perfection. I mean,
Are you
the fact
like
that
number
they
10?
Oh, well, I don't have a necessary order.
Okay.
It's just kind of like whatever. It was what came to my mind first.
Okay.
So this one, I mean, the fact that they invented the bullet time movie making cinematography for this movie should say enough. The sound effects, the soundtrack. I mean, the soundtrack. I could listen to this soundtrack. I used to listen to this soundtrack for like hours on end. You just can't get better than this, I feel like. Yes, there's better sci-fi movies out there. Yes, there's this, there's that. But I think The Matrix was one of those movies that just kind of put it all together into one just cohesive, amazing movie. And so that's why this is on my list. Anyways, yeah, I just love it. I can still watch it to this day, and it doesn't age. Oh, Jesus,
you're
that was
talking-
loud.
You're talking about just the Matrix 1, right? Like, you're not talking about
Oh,
second
no.
and third ones, right?
Yeah, we're not talking about those two. Those
Okay,
two
yeah.
shouldn't exist.
Yeah, I
The,
agree.
the first Matrix was like the pinnacle of like this could go so well, and then the
Exactly.
second and the third ones were like it's like they reduced the quality by 50% every time.
Yep.
Isn't there like 5 of them now?
No, there's a
Isn't there one
fourth.
coming out?
The fourth one came out like last year. Matrix Revolutions, I think it was.
Yeah, and there's supposed to be another one too.
And,
It's kinda
I don't know, man. Like, I love Keanu Reeves, and I think he's a. That's another thing, actually. That's another talking point, is that he actually donated most of his salary in this movie to the special effects workers.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's
so
really-
he actually took almost no salary for this movie.
That's such a Keanu thing to do.
It really is. Like, it's just Keanu things, you know? That Keanu guy. So yeah, that's my first movie. So who wants to go next? We've either got Mayhem Snow or Zephyr.
Yeah, it's up to you, Kepi. You can pick.
Let's go with. I think I have Mayhem's list pulled up, so we can go with Mayhem. Give me
right.
1 second here, Mayhem. Oh, of course it's going to be this fucking movie. God damn it.
Yeah, mine's not in any order, so you can just go whatever one you want.
Well,
You
this
don't
is
have
the
an order, Mayhem?
this is
It's
the
top
first
10.
one on your list.
Yeah. Oh, the best Christmas movie ever.
It's not a
Oh,
fucking
no.
Christmas movie.
Yes, it is. The best Christmas
Would you be able to move your camera so that people can see the titles of the trailers?
I can't see anything. I just see your icons. But is it because I have the mobile client?
Oh, it might be
Oh,
because
look.
you're on mobile. Yeah.
Look, Kepi, there's a Christmas tree. Oh.
Let me
I'm
see if I
missing
can.
out.
Let me just maximize this. Does that look better? So this is Die Hard,
A great movie.
a movie
even
that
like-
is not a Christmas movie,
Oh, it's
It
a
is.
Christmas movie.
and it will
It
never
is.
be a Christmas movie in my mind.
It is. And see, I even like
Shit, there's
Like
one
I
on.
like all of Die Hard movies too. Like, yeah, they're like the. Number
I don't
two
know.
was
The
okay.
newest one was kind of a bit of a stretch for me.
Was that? That's the one with
Die
his
Hard
son,
with a
right?
Vengeance or something like that.
The one with his son.
Yeah.
No,
That
Die
one was
Hard
a
with
stretch.
Die Hard with a Vengeance. That's the one with what's his name? Samuel Jackson. Yeah, Samuel Jackson's Die Hard with Vengeance. I think it's Live Free or Die Hardest.
Oh yeah, Die Hard. Yeah, that's the one. You're right.
Yeah. But yeah, the one with Samuel Jackson is pretty good. That's probably one of my top ones.
Better
I do
Back to
like-
the Hero. By the way.
Okay, so why did this one make your list, Mayhem?
I don't know. I've been watching it since I was a little kid, and like, that's why he acts like Yippee Ki Mother Effer, and it's like a great Christmas movie, really great. Like he even dresses someone up as Santa Claus and put "Ho ho ho, Merry effing Christmas," and oh yeah, and then he tosses a guy off the freaking the top of the tower. How epic is that? And,
I
like,
mean,
he's-
it's a good. No, don't get me wrong. It's a great action movie. It is not a Christmas movie.
it's a Christmas movie.
No.
I'm just saying, it happens at a Christmas party. It includes the themes of Christmas with.
So if I
you know,
murder people at a
tennis.
Christmas party, that makes it a Christmas murder?
Yeah,
I mean, yes.
No.
especially
It makes
if
it.
you
It's
dress up
it's
as-
a murder. A murder is a murder. It doesn't have to be at Christmas or not. It doesn't matter where it happens or when it happens.
And you know, I think words or words aren't real, right? But also, you know, it's an action movie at Christmas. So it makes it a Christmas movie.
All right. Moving on.
Kepi's too principled.
Oh,
But no.
I have my set values, and I do not switch from them.
When was the last
What
time
did
you
I
watched
say?
Die Hard, Kepi? Come on, be honest.
When's the last time I watched Die Hard?
Yeah.
I think I watched it about a year ago.
What time of the year was it?
Like March?
Just after Christmas?
No, March. March is not just after Christmas.
see, look, even Metafactor said it's a Christmas movie.
Dude,
See-
matter of fact, it's on our side.
See, I don't know. That's 3 people right now.
No, that's 3 people too many.
Yeah.
My wife's
know.
on my side, just so we're clear. I turned her to the dark side.
Oh,
I
she come here-
thought we turned her against you.
Objection, lady.
No, she used to come here and
Initially.
dump that.
Initially, she was like, "You guys are idiots," and then I made her watch the movie, and I turned her to our side because she was like, this is clearly a Christmas movie. Look at all the Christmas stuff."
Yeah, I made her rage. Like I kept saying, "Oh, it's the best Christmas movie," and she got
Okay,
so mad
okay.
at me.
We're not talking about this anymore. This is so fucked up.
2 hours later.
Way to take control.
All right.
All right,
Who's
so
next?
Snow. We're gonna do
Oh.
Snow next because I have his
Just
list
go
pulled
from,
up.
Yeah, just go from 10 to 1.
10-1.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. This was
Come on.
another. This was another one that. Oh my God, Pat! It scared the shit out of me.
You stopped him.
happened?
You stopped
All right.
him from talking.
This was another one that almost made my list. Forrest Gump,
Oh, yeah.
Ooh,
a
I
classic.
have a good
Jenny.
film on mine.
Jenny.
Yeah, fucking phenomenal movie.
It really is.
Good movie.
The kid is so like initially when I watched it as a kid, I was like, this guy's an idiot, but he does so many cool things. And I watch it as an adult now, and I'm like, this guy went through so many things that would have broken like a normal person, and he like
Oh,
still
yeah.
went through them. Fucking first of all, Jenny's a piece of shit.
Yep.
Glad she's dead.
Uh-huh.
And fucking all of that bullshit. But like the guy, smile on his face, just goes through everything. He just lives like the perfect life.
It's essentially a guy processing trauma just over and over again.
Yeah, look at
Like,
his face. That's
and
trauma right
and
there.
how he deals with it. Like he deals with it.
Yeah.
He takes it like a fucking champ.
Yeah.
Well, he
He's
happens to fall into like really key historical moments
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
randomly.
Fucking, he's in a war. He's a war hero.
He's
a
meeting with
football
JFK.
star. He's a ping pong hero.
Oh yeah, the ping pong. I forgot about that.
Me
The
too.
guy, he's a restaurateur.
Uh huh. Bubblegum shrimp.
He's kind of a bit of a simp for Jenny, and that's my main negative point for him. But that's just because that's the only lady that
Yeah.
gives him the time of day.
Like, but she totally abuses him. Like she uses him and just like dips out whenever she wants.
Oh yeah, she's a bad lady.
Like you're right. She's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good that she's dead in the end.
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Didn't she give him like an apple or something?
I don't remember. It's actually been a while
Called
since I've seen this
Right
movie.
now.
But didn't she die of AIDS?
Yeah, she died of AIDS, I think, in the movie. Because she was just dipping
with
her.
everybody.
Yeah, she was dipping with whoever wanted it.
Letting her wick get wet, you know?
Yeah, she was. She was
Fuck
getting.
you, Jenny.
She was getting that clam juice.
Look at her, she just ruined a whole thing for him.
Yep.
Making it about her.
Jenny.
Worst character in the world. Glad she's dead.
Dude, and Lieutenant Dan, amazing character as well.
Dude,
Yeah, he was
this,
great.
this movie cost me to go to actual Bubba Gump Shrimp in like real life.
Yeah, I went there in San Francisco.
Yeah, I went there in Hawaii and it was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it's actually really good. I had their clam chowder. So amazing. Especially when it's in San Fran because it's like fresh, like right off the harbor. Like,
I don't know if they still do it.
Oof,
but
so good.
When we went, they basically just did like Forrest Gump trivia, and if you beat the waitress or the waiter at like answering questions, then you got 10% off your bill.
Nice.
It's fucking awesome.
Hell yeah.
I think I don't know that I've seen that movie all the way through once, like from start to finish. I've only seen it in like this segment, that segment. Just
Yeah,
I don't
just
know.
chunks at a time.
yeah, it's always on, but at a different spot.
Yeah.
So
No, there's movies that I have I know I've seen this, but I don't know like if I've seen all of it ever. But Forrest Gump is one that I actually have sat through and watched the whole thing, and it's amazing. It's a really good movie.
it's true.
All right, Zephyr, what's your first on the list?
My number 10 is Matilda from 1996.
Oh my god, dude! We used to watch that together, dude.
I know. Directed by Danny DeVito, music by David
Yeah.
Newman.
Oh my god, this movie brings back so many memories.
Yeah, it did something to the kids that watched it, meaning like it had a way of sort of connecting with children in the way that's like, yeah, adults are fucking retarded and we understand you're like way
Oh
smarter
yeah,
than people think you are.
I
Yeah.
remember this
Yeah.
movie.
Miss Trenchbull.
Yeah, chew
Oh,
your
she was
food, you
the
filthy
best
animal.
character.
And like she literally puts kids in like a fucking closet, like the chokey.
With like nails in it.
Yeah, it's like so messed up.
Oh, that character was so perfect. I had to look her up to see what else she was in. I think she's in
She's been in a
like
few
some
things recently,
yeah,
actually.
yeah. She's so good.
She was in another show that I watched recently. I'm trying to remember. Shoot, that's gonna have to be in a whole nother episode. Is like favorite TV series. Because
Yeah.
oh my
Oh yeah,
gosh,
yeah, yeah.
I
I'll
have
get to
so
that
many
too.
series that I want to talk about. But yeah, this movie was amazing.
It was really great.
It was ahead of its time, I feel like.
Yeah, definitely gave you the feels when
Oh
if you
yeah.
see it again. You just it's one of those where it's like any segment that it starts at, you just like your mouth starts moving to the words that are being said.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, you start talking
it's like
along with
so
it.
ingrained in your soul.
Yeah.
So good. I don't know
Yeah.
that I have that much more to say about it other than yeah, the trench bull, probably the best character in the whole movie because she's so over the top.
Yeah.
Um, and I didn't know that Danny DeVito was like everything in the movie. He's the narrator. He produced it. He directed it. He
Oh,
oh,
I
by
didn't
the way,
realize that either.
yeah, it's like there's so much of it that was his money and his and I it looks like it lost money. Like they spent way more than box office sales took in. So that was
Damn.
kind of sad to
That's too
see.
bad. Because
But anyway,
it
that
was
was
such a
my
classic, for sure.
yeah. That's my number 10.
How do you make yourself feel better? I don't know. Don't get sick.
Empty yourself out.
Um,
Oh, feel better.
he said fill, but, you know, I feel like he meant feel. Okay, so next movie on my list, and this is another one that I think you guys might enjoy, is The Bourne Identity.
Oh,
So
Jason Bourne.
this movie, I think, is how like James Bond should have gone. Like
I don't know.
he's
Pretty different.
got he's got the martial arts, he's got like the skills, he's got class when he needs it, he's got just straight up violence when he needs it, and he like this is how I think this is the blueprint of how action movies should be made. He plays the perfect killer, unbridled killing instinct, a mysterious backstory, the desire to try to do the right thing, and when that doesn't work out, just fuck people up.
So
Just hurt people.
here's a question: do you like Matt Damon's one, or do you like the Norman Reedus version? Because didn't Norman Reedus do a couple Bourne Identities?
Not Norman Reedus.
Norman Reedus?
I mean not Norman Reedus. Jeremy.
Jeremy Renner.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he did the Bourne Legacy, I think it was,
Jeremy Renner.
which
Ugh.
is actually in the same universe as the Bourne Identity movies, but he plays a different character. He doesn't play Jason Bourne. He plays a totally different
Oh,
character, but in the same
and it
universe.
could work. He was good in the Hurt Locker.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, that was a good
Sherlock
one.
was good.
Mm.
But yeah, I look at this movie and like, again, this came out in what, like 2002, so like 20 years ago, and it still plays well.
Oh yeah.
Like you can still watch it and just be like entertained for that, you know, those 2 hours, and have a good time. That's one of the things I look for when I look for a really good movie, is I look for like how it stands against the test of time. And I think this one definitely holds up.
Oh yeah.
Just an amazing movie, tons of action, tons of personality from Matt Damon. I mean, I know we all have the meme of like Matt Damon from Team America or whatever. But like it's such a good movie. Like it just it just doesn't get better than that, I feel like, when it comes to action. Like, straight up action, you have to go with Jason Bourne.
That's a good one.
So that's my second one. All right, Mayhem. We've got your second one, which I believe is going to be this one.
All right, you're going down the list, correct?
Yeah, I'm going down
Right.
the list.
Okay, yep, okay.
Yeah, just top to bottom.
Okay.
I figured that was easiest.
Yeah. Like I said, like it's top 10, but like I said, I love every one of them. I don't really have a big favorite out of them.
So this is another classic, Space Jam.
Yeah.
So, what made this on your list?
I was 8 years old when this movie came out, and I remember going to a movie theater. Well, with my mom, seeing this movie, and it's like, I loved Looney Tunes growing up. And
Yeah.
I was an okay Michael Jordan fan back then, so I'm like, yeah, why not? Let's go see it. And it's just
I'll suck
a
your dick
classic.
for breakfast.
I still watch it to this day nonstop. I did not. I'm gonna say it right now. Did not like the remake of whatever you want to call it, number 2.
The
or
LeBron
remake.
James version.
Oh my, no way.
I didn't even see it
And
because
seeing
this
now-
is the OG. You can't beat the OG.
No, and I'm gonna put like a little statement out there right now too. What they did with with the female Bugs Bunny, Luna.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and now seeing that we're all adults now, and we can see what they do to her. Oh my God.
Rune,
yeah.
stop. God damn it. Yeah, no.
My
So
dog stepped on a bee.
I think what's important to realize is that, like, I don't think how many people understand just how huge Michael Jordan was back in the day. Like, he was untouchable, like, God tier famous. Like, he had his own line of shoes, he had clothes, he had Hanes underwear, or Fruit of the Loom, whichever one it was. I can't remember which one he supported.
Fruit of the Loom.
Was
like-
that before? Was that after he did the baseball stint? Or before?
Yeah, this was during that transitionary period, I think, when this movie came
Oh, it
out.
was.
Yeah, part of the movie actually makes fun of his baseball career.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're like joking about how much he sucks at baseball. And then he goes back to basketball, and then, like, you know, the Toons capture him or whatever, and then he has to play for the Toon Squad.
I
It was a really
remember.
good movie.
I remember how old I was too when it came out. I don't remember a lot of the time how old I was when movies came out. But I was in the 6th grade, so I was 12 years old.
Yeah,
Um,
that sounds about right.
and yeah, it was
Yeah,
a
this
big
movie-
deal.
This movie came out in '96.
He was such like he was like, and he still is, like, he's still just like God tier famous. Like, I mean, he owns the what is it, the Pelicans,
Wizards.
the Wizards. I thought he owned the Pelicans
Let me look that up.
or the Hornets.
Right.
It was the
He
Hornets.
could probably buy a Pelican or something, you know.
Yeah, he could probably buy a couple Pelicans.
Yeah, at least one.
At least,
I
would say
yeah,
two.
I'm sorry. I am
Okay.
sorry. He owns the Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, the Hornets.
And he also owns 23XL Racing in the NASCAR.
Uh,
I have no idea. But
Okay.
I guess he owns
It's crazy.
a company in the
Like-
NASCAR too.
Like, million upon millionaire. Like, he's worth. I think he's worth over $1 billion when it comes down to it, with his assets and everything.
easily.
Like, that guy is just crazy famous. And during the 90s, like, this was like his top tier. Like, this was when he was like at the top of his game. Like, you know, I remember when, you know, for those of us who know where I live, back when he used to play against the Jazz, like, the Jazz, like, they had Karl Malone, they had John Stockton, they had an amazing team, and
Honestly,
Michael Jordan just tore them apart every time. Just tore them apart.
That ruined my love for basketball because I was like, yeah, the Jazz. Oh my gosh, they're playing against the Chicago Bulls. This is the
Yeah.
best. And
Yeah.
then he just murdered them. Him and Scottie Pippen and the rest, even fucking Rodman.
Yeah.
And,
And Kukoc.
Yeah. So then after that, I was like, nah, I think I'm done with basketball.
Yeah,
I didn't pay
that was
attention.
kind of my, like, that was my dream killer as well, because, like, dude, the Jazz made the finals twice in a row. I think it was no, it was 95 and 97, right? I think.
I remember when it happened.
And we just got creamed both times.
but it was so fun when it happened. I
Oh
remember
yeah.
the announcer's voice at the Delta Center before it
Mm-hmm.
turned into the Energy Solutions Arena.
Yep.
There's like John Stockton has sent the Utah Jazz to the NBA
Yeah,
Finals,
that
and
play where he played against it was against the Rockets, wasn't it? Where he made
yeah,
that three pointer at the last second
yeah, oh, it
and
was
just
so
drained it.
good.
It
And
was like
I
the
get like
perfect shot.
goosebumps thinking about it now, like just
Oh my
reliving
god.
that live. It was amazing.
Yeah, that
He's
was
worth 2 billion.
$2 billion.
Yep, and his
Good
Charlotte
God, man.
Hornets. If he sells his Charlotte Hornets, it's 1.5 billion is what he owns right now in the stake of the Hornets. So he's currently
Wow,
worth 3.5 if he sells his stakes of the
Jesus.
Hornets.
That's
good
like
for him.
that's like unreal amounts of money. Like oh, I mean, I you look at like Bill Gates and stuff like that and you're like, okay, the guy's worth like $50 billion. And but like just being a like he plays he played basketball. He doesn't even play basketball anymore and he's still worth like $3.5 billion.
It's
Yeah,
because he's
That's just
iconic.
it's crazy.
that ain't
Yeah,
right.
It's
yeah,
crazy money.
his Nike deal and all that.
Yeah,
Air Jordans.
Air Jordans, man, they still sell for like $600 a pair.
Yep.
Like, and
Yeah, good
if
for
you find
cool.
classic Air Jordans, you can sometimes get those for like thousands of dollars a pair.
All
That's
right.
true.
Is snow starting out?
Yeah,
Big
sorry. Yeah, we'll continue on. Snow.
yeah.
Let me see here. I've got the next one on your list. Ooh, another one that almost made my list.
I'm going to be honest, if it's not on one of you guys' lists, this is fucking crazy.
No, this is one of my all-time favorite movies. I had too many other movies to choose.
Let's see if it's on my list.
This is like if you haven't seen this movie, you need to like watch it now.
Yeah.
This movie is so good.
Fucking Fight Club, dude.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
First of all, shows
I
an
haven't seen it.
entirely not realistic, but a very like in-depth version of a deeply seated mental health issue.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best twists in all of film, and one of the first people to actually do it in this movie, and it was done extremely well. Uh, went for freedom fighter esque to like a bad boy like fight 'em up beat 'em up kind of thrill seeker thing. They had emo bitches, they had Brad Pitt, they had explosions, they had literally everything you could need in a movie, and I just never got bored through a single minute of Fight Club. And
Yeah.
I also learned how to make soap.
Well, this is what solidified to me like that Edward Norton actually has like the acting chops to make some really good movies.
He's so good.
If you've seen this movie, you should definitely see American History X.
I haven't seen that either.
That's another classic where it just man, it shows off his acting prowess.
Yeah.
Edward Norton.
Yeah, Edward Norton.
Yeah, he's good. I like
I've
the
heard
cast.
that he's kind of a douchebag in real life, but like I guess that kind of plays into the whole like he's a very deep character actor. So like he gets into his roles like really deeply. And
Yeah.
so that probably explains why he's kind of a dick in real life.
Hmm.
Also, look at Brad Pitt's abs, dude. Oh my god.
Oh, I know, dude. He was he was yoked.
Yeah, he was probably on drugs, but still, like, holy shit.
He was probably just dehydrated for a lot of that because from what I've heard, like so a lot of actors like Henry Cavill in The Witcher, what they would do is they would starve themselves for like a week up to the recording, and then the last couple of days they would start starving themselves of water, so that way the skin pulls against the muscles, and so that's why like Henry Cavill looks so fucking yoked in The Witcher, is because he's literally dehydrated.
That's so crazy.
So I'm wondering if that's what Brad Pitt did.
Right, maybe.
But
Well,
yeah,
It's hard
that's
to act like that.
oh I know that's got to be it's. I mean, you look at I think of oh fuck Batman Begins guy, whatever his name is,
Oh,
Christian Bale. So right
oh,
before he did Batman Begins, he was in The Machinist, and The Machinist he was like 120 pounds. He was just
Wow.
like skin and bones. He was eating 1 can of tuna per day and an apple.
Yeah.
Speaking of actors who are dicks in real life,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Christian Bale
Christian
is another
Bale
one
is
of
like the
those.
king of them.
You know, he's. I think it's the type of acting that they do, that they get so deep into their roles that they kind of forget who they are, and they just become these just asshole people. Like there
I
was
mean, but
that
that's not
there was
always
that whole
true,
YouTube
isn't it?
thing where like he was like screaming at someone on set when he was doing Terminator,
Yeah, I remember that.
and he was just like fucking ripping into some sound, like, like some boom mic like guy, and he was just like, "Oh, you fucking piece of shit!" Like just ripping into some guy because he walked into frame or something like that for like 2 seconds.
Jesus.
And I think it's these people that just they get so deep into their roles they forget who they are, and they
Yeah.
become just complete assholes.
Well, I mean, Heath Ledger was I wasn't Heath Ledger like a really good guy, and then he lost his shit with like Joker and stuff.
Oh yeah, with the Joker, his that was his last official like full role.
Yeah.
He got so into the role that he couldn't get back out of it. And I guess what had happened. Who was the original Joker from the 1989 one?
Mark Hamill?
Jack Nicholson.
Oh, Jack Nicholson.
So
Sorry.
Jack Nicholson actually warned Heath Ledger about the role. He said, "Don't go too far into it because you won't come back out."
Wow.
And sure enough, Heath Ledger went too far into the role and he never came back out. And then ended up, obviously, we all know what happened to Heath Ledger. You know, killed himself. It's just it's a tricky business. I don't know how people can act like that and still feel like sane. I feel
I mean,
like
it's probably a little bit of sociopathic behavior, right?
no, I think so. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you have to be kind of a sociopath to act like that. You just kind of have to like you compartmentalize like parts of your life, and you're just like, well, that's not me anymore. Like, I'm an actor, so like my personal life is over here, and my acting life is over here, and everything in
Yeah.
between is just like different roles. And so
Yeah, I
they
could
just kind of disconnect from each other.
feel like I could easily channel pieces of myself and uh, just remembering certain parts of my life towards a role and just lose myself in it. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it would be too difficult.
Yeah, like I think about that too sometimes, where it's like I could probably just like disconnect from this part of my life and just like forget that it happened or forget that it exists. But then I realize I'm like, that's probably not healthy. That's probably
We
not a
weren't
good
even
thing.
talking about Batman. It's almost like we were talking about Batman Begins, but we were talking about a different movie.
You were talking about Dark Knight.
Yeah,
Were
yeah,
we?
yeah. Dark Knight's the one with the Joker. Batman Begins is the one with Scarecrow.
Oh, you're right. No, but I meant the
Killian Murphy.
podcast.
Oh yeah, the podcast. Yeah, yeah. We've kind of
What movie
we've
were we
gone
even
off the
talking
rails a
about?
bit here. It was Fight Club.
It was Fight
Yeah. Oh,
Club.
yeah. It was Fight Club. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, Edward Norton. Yeah, that's what pulled it through.
yeah. That's where it all came from. Anyways, my bad. Okay, so Zephyr, what's your next movie on the list?
My next movie, number nine, My Neighbor Totoro, 1988.
Oh,
Oh,
fuck
Totoro.
yeah.
Director Hayao Miyazaki, music by Joe Hisaishi. Um, yeah, this one has a special place in a lot of people's
Oh
hearts.
man,
It's a big one.
Miyazaki in
Uh,
general, man. Like he knows how to make a really good movie.
it's true. There's just a lot of heart in the animation style, the
Hmm.
characters, the just how they interact with one another, and there's um there's a certain level of it's like a combination of wonder from a child's perspective and comfort. I mean, it's still he has a way of dealing with difficult themes and subjects, but there's still so much just child, like just wonderment from a child's perspective that just
Yeah.
animates the whole, I mean, literally and figuratively, the whole film. Because what? So I'm pretty sure it was Miyazaki who made oh, what's that one about the World War II? The there's like the brother
Oh,
and the sister who are orphaned.
yeah.
It's like the grave of the fireflies or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
It's really, really sad. Like it's a really disturbing story, and they end up like dying in the end because they just starve.
Yeah.
It's about the firebombing of Tokyo,
Yeah.
and they're driven out of their homes. Anyway, I won't belabor this because it's about My Neighbor Totoro. I just wanted to bring up that other movie because it still had this quality about it, that he could still deal with such devastating themes and still have you coming out the other end of it with just like bouncing to happy music and just I don't know, there's just this this way he has in his directing style, and but obviously everything to do with the animation as well, but not just that either. And they always get the best voice actors for the
Oh, yeah.
English versions, even though they're dubbed over, over the original Japanese. They do such a good job.
Yeah.
So anyway,
No,
that's
I love the Studio Ghibli films and Miyazaki especially. Like he's such an amazing story writer and a storyteller
yeah.
that
He truly
it's
conveys
hard
his.
not to love his movies.
Yeah, you have to be a terrorist to hate his movies. So, I don't know.
Well,
Um,
basically though, yeah.
Terrorism, no.
there's something wrong with you if you don't like it.
Get
But
some get
yeah,
some Terrys up in here.
that's my number nine. Oh,
I
my
love it,
kids
man.
love that.
Yeah, I love that. I love that movie. That one, Spirit of the Forest, is.
Mm.
I mean, there's so many good movies that comes from his mind. I just, yeah, you could probably name like 5 of his movies, and they would all be on my list
Yeah, four
if I
four
had to
above
think
that one
about
is
it.
another Miyazaki. So get
Nice,
ready.
nice. We'll get
I
back
think
to
we
it
might
then.
be sharing a movie then.
All right,
What's that?
so my next one on my list, number 8. Well, it's in no particular order, but this is just the next one down. This one is a bit of a guilty pleasure of mine. Garden State. This was
Oh, I've never
2004.
seen it.
It's basically the first thing that I noticed when I saw this movie was the soundtrack. The soundtrack is just simply amazing. It matches perfectly with the theme of the show, the movie. But it's kind of a story of self-discovery, coming out of your shell, becoming the person that you want to be instead of the person that you're supposed to be. And it's all tied in with like a love story. It's a guilty pleasure of mine to watch this movie. I usually watch it about once a year. It's got Natalie Portman. It's got Zach Braff. It's got Bilbo Baggins. I mean, it's just there's a lot of really powerful actors in this movie, and it's a really powerful story. It's I don't even know what else to say other than it's just you have to watch it to understand like what's so good about it. Is it's just a really well told story about. I mean, it kind of rings personally to me because growing up where I grew up, I had a shell that was kind of almost impossible to break out of for so long because I was stuck in this situation where certain people wanted me to be this certain person, like this certain version of myself that I just wasn't happy with. And so it took me, 18 years, 19 years to get out of that shell, and break free and actually become someone that I actually want to be instead of someone that I'm expected to be. And this story is basically that. So it has a lot
Wow,
of personal meaning for me.
that's pretty profound.
Anyways, so
What was
that's
it? Garden State?
yeah, Garden State,
Okay. I
2004.
have to watch that.
Yeah, I think it's worth a watch for sure.
Hmm.
You have to come into it with a mindset of, yeah, there's going to be some cheesy parts. It is a little bit of a love story, and so you have to go into it with that mindset of like, okay, there's going to be some love, there's going to be some like drama here and there,
Yeah.
but when you think about the main character's actual story, it's really powerful.
Hmm.
It's like I said, it's a lot of self-discovery. It's a lot of just breaking out of your shell and just becoming you because you want to be you, not someone that other people expect you to be.
Love it.
All right, so that's my number, I think 8. We got to hurry up. This is going to take a while. Okay, so we've got Mayhem up next. This
Okay.
is Mayhem's next movie. It is a classic, Gremlins.
A good Christmas movie.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
god.
Well,
Well, hold on now.
Now this legit takes place on Christmas.
Oh, okay. Actually, this might be a Christmas movie.
I love this movie.
Doesn't he receive the Gremlin for Christmas?
Yes, he received it as a present for Christmas. His girlfriend, well, future girlfriend in the movie, spoiler, sorry. Her dad said that her dad died
Okay.
dressing up as Santa Claus and got stuck in the chimney.
I think it's safe to say that you can't spoil a movie from the 80s.
Spoiler
Well,
alert! If you're like just now born.
Yeah, like if
oh
you
yeah,
okay, yeah, if you were like if you're a kid, maybe. But like,
this
dude, this
movie,
movie came out in 84.
yes, and I watched it probably when I was, I think like 10 years old. I think when the first time I watched the movie.
I think this is one of those movies that we were talking about earlier where like I know I've seen this movie, but I don't think I've ever seen it in one sitting.
Now I could
It's
sit
good.
here, I could sit here and like watch it for like 24 hours straight. It's
It's
like one.
good.
It is a
Oh my
classic
Yeah,
for sure.
the Gremlins are a little hard to see nowadays, to be honest.
Yeah, that's the reason why they were supposed to make it number 3, but then I guess like what Snow just said, like nobody bought onto it. Like everybody's like, oh yeah, production and production software.
Yeah.
hmm.
But this was a good one. Like the first one, yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with the OG. Um,
Number 2, they overdid
yeah,
number
I
2.
forgot about that scene where she's got that stupid chair that like wheels her
Oh,
up the
yeah.
stairs and it fucking
Yeah,
breaks
she
and
goes.
speeds up.
And the cop's like, what the hell?
I
Oh,
remember
I
so
forgot
little
about that.
of Gremlins.
Oh, okay. Let's see how good your memory is, Kepi. Before you go on to Snows,
Okay.
what movie were Gremlins watching?
I honestly have no idea. It's been so long since I've seen Gremlins. I think the
Snow?
last time I saw it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
I haven't seen it in forever.
It was
Yeah.
Wow, so recent.
It was Snow White.
Okay.
Snow White?
Yep, because they were all singing "Hi Ho,
Oh,
Hi Ho."
yeah, that's right. Hi ho, hi ho. It's off to work I go.
Okay,
All right.
I won't try to go fast. Just go ahead, Snow. I
Okay,
won't take long.
Snow. So Snow's next movie. Let me pull it up here. Ooh, this is Snow and I have at least one uh, match.
Oh, we're matching.
It's not this one, but I just saw it on your list. So this
Do I
one
match right now?
is definitely a good one though. Inception. So what made this on your list?
That's a good one.
So, I'm not gonna say it's like the best made film in the world or that it's like super edgy and really smart or whatever. I just think it's like a very unique sort of story that hasn't really been told in modern stories in a really long time. Because I think a big problem with modern movies, at least, is that like every movie is like the same movie, just in like slightly different tone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, and like this was one of the first movies that I watched in like a really long time around this time period where I was like, this is very different. Like it's more of like a mental game. They have stakes and like it's very interesting and like there's actual thought into like how the world works and all this other stuff and there's puzzles and it was just very interesting to me. And I was like, if, as far as like puzzly fucking like more dramatic movies go, this is probably one of the better ones I've ever seen.
No, I agree. Yeah, this was a movie that this was during like Christopher Nolan's like prime years. I feel like he could do no wrong. Like every
Yeah.
movie he came out with was just even better and better and better and better. I think of like if you guys have seen The Prestige, that was like one of the
Yep.
first Nolan movies where I was just like, holy shit, like this is
Yeah.
amazing.
It
That
This
was
is
a
sounds
like
better one.
really well
It was
done.
a better magician movie.
yeah.
The
It was
Illusionist.
better than the other one.
Yeah, it
Whatever.
was. It was better. Ironically too, because that's the whole thing with the Prestige.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, I think this was during like Nolan's prime time. Like he had just come out with like Batman Begins, which was like one of the first. I feel like it was one of the first superhero movies that really actually did superbly well at the box office.
It was also I felt like a superhero movie that was actually worthy of being taken seriously because all
Yeah,
the Marvel stuff. I'm like, forgive me for not being a Marvel fan, but it's just I can't do it. Like I can't remove myself from enough of my critical faculties to enjoy it as much as I know I should. Whereas with DC things, especially within the Batman universe, with Nolan directing, it just felt like a real dark, gritty universe that
yeah.
I could really just get behind 100%. It
No,
was
I
just
More
agree.
great.
realistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was yeah, that's what I loved about the that Batman trilogy. I mean, the next two movies weren't quite as good as the first one, but they were both. I think The Dark Knight was obviously a really powerful movie with the Joker.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Rises with Bane. Um,
The, the Bane, Bane
I
one
felt
was the
like
worst of
Ra's
Bane,
al
but it was
Ghul
still
could have been
good.
better.
It was still good.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was really good. I think Tom Hardy did a really good job as Bane.
Yeah, me too.
He played a smarter Bane than you're used to seeing. Like in the cartoons, he was
Oh
always
yeah.
like a dumb brute. But
Yeah, yeah, he
in
was,
that
yeah,
movie,
exactly.
he was extremely intelligent. He knew exactly what he was doing. He knew,
Yeah, I
you
knew it.
know,
I
he knew
like
how
what
to
they did with
break
the character.
Batman,
Yeah.
which I thought was really cool. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think Nolan has just this ability to tell a story and just make it so believable and make it realistic to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, I can see this happening.
I just like the darkness of it.
Yeah,
That's really what draws me in is just how gritty and how dark and yeah, it makes you feel uncomfortable in ways that most directors just don't touch, you know.
yeah, yeah. He takes it to a place where it just, yeah, it kind of gets you like you're like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
this is serious. This is dark,
Hmm.
and I like
Hmm.
that. Okay, so next movie, I think we're up to you. So what's your next one on the list?
Who, me?
Yes.
Um, so different direction here, guys. Number 8, Sleepless in Seattle, 1993. I love myself a good
Oh yeah.
love me a good chick flick. Um, Director Nora Ephron, music by Mark Scheiman. This one, Tom Hanks does a wonderful job, as does Meg Ryan. There's Bill Pullman in there. Um, just uh, I
They did a
kind of
few movies together, didn't they?
yeah. They did. You've
Tom
Got
and Meg.
Mail. Yeah, they. Yeah, I actually never saw You Got Mail. Like I wasn't really interested. I don't know why. You'd think I would be, given what I just said. But anyway, I kind of grew up with this movie, seeing it every now
Yeah.
and then, and it's a readaptation of what was that other movie? Anyway, it's an old movie. I think it's a black and white Cary Grant film.
Oh yeah. I think I know what you're talking about. I can't remember the name either, but I know I've seen
And
it. I used to watch
what's
it with my
funny is
mom.
that, yeah, what's funny is that it's actually referenced in Sleepless in Seattle. So it's like
It's not
break.
Casablanca.
No, it's not Casablanca. But anyway,
It's something else.
yeah, it's I just love the characters. I love the build up to
Hmm.
the final scene. I love the child actors in it do a great job. They have plenty of attitude.
Yeah.
How they play such an essential role in telling the story, and it's interesting to watch it now as someone. I mean, so his wife died, right? But
Yeah.
I was um fairly recently divorced, so it's like
Yeah.
it's not the same, but it's like once married with a kid, like I could identify with it in a new way later on in life. So that was kind of a fun little dynamic to play with.
Yeah.
'Cause I rewatched it recently and I was like, wow, this is crazy, man. Like it's a whole next level stuff. And the way that Hanks manages his role and delivers his lines is just so authentic and so wonderfully done.
I
So
think I think Tom Hanks is going to be one of the the greats that just goes down in history with I think almost every single role I've seen him in has been an amazing role. Like
yeah,
he knows how to act, he knows how to pick his roles. I think was is another smart thing is that he doesn't play roles that he's not designed for. He plays roles that he knows he can do and he knows he can do them well. And I think that's
but it's
important.
yeah. The funny thing with him though is that he can't he can't change himself that much really, especially like his voice. He can't modulate his voice at all. Like
Yeah.
he always sounds exactly the same.
Yeah, he's
Even
always the same
that,
guy. He's always the same kind of character, but he does it so well.
you know, it's true. So yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
there was
great.
something else. Uh,
I
yeah, no,
Yeah, I
I
haven't seen
can't
that
think.
movie in a while. I need to rewatch that.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
Cuz yeah,
Oh,
like
that's right. Now I remember.
oh, go ahead.
So Rosie O'Donnell was in it, and she was great.
Oh
That
yeah,
was
she
funny.
was. Yeah, she was in that she played the
The friend
yeah, the friend.
of,
Um
of Meg Ryan's character.
yeah. Dude, it's been so long since I've even like heard of Rosie O'Donnell. It's crazy.
That's like before she went lesbian, I think even.
Yeah, that she was still like yeah. This was like early 90s.
Yep.
I think she
Anyway,
still
that's
had her
fine.
TV show when that was going on. The
I
Rosie
think it was
O'Donnell
before
show.
that. Yeah, I think it was before then even.
Oh, even before that? Wow. Dang. Well, that's a good one. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for sharing.
Hmm.
I'm gonna have to write that one down and watch it again. I think I have it on Plex, so
Yeah.
I'll watch that. Okay, so next on my list is another kind of guilty pleasure movie, but it's also a really powerful movie. It's Meet Joe Black. So this is an old one,
Right.
90s.
It's not that old.
It's 90s. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's 20 plus years old.
Yeah. That's true.
So this one was kind of a wild card for me. I was thinking about movies to add, and this movie just kept popping up in my brain, and I was like, I haven't even seen this movie in a while. Like, why is it still, in my head, like rattling around? And I rewatched it earlier this week, and I remembered why I liked this movie so much. So Brad Pitt's character plays Death, the Grim Reaper, basically, and Anthony Hopkins plays a man basically living his last days. So he's about to die. Brad Pitt shows up, and his goal is to take Anthony Hopkins' character to the grave, basically. But he chooses to stay with him for a while and learn more about life, humanity, what makes people tick, basically. And he has this very like matter of fact way of speaking about things. Like he doesn't understand emotions. He doesn't understand the nuances of humanity. His goal is to take people to the grave. But he learns about life, love, humanity, grief, fear, sadness, and the movie brings up so many topics about like what makes us human, what makes life, death, and what makes us, mean something to each other, to other people. And so
Yeah.
he ends up falling in love with Anthony Hopkins' daughter, and it's a really, I'm not going to spoil the ending because it's a really good ending, but it's a really powerful movie because it talks about so many like topics that people don't want to think about.
Mm.
Death, loss, grief, fear, and all that. It talks about those topics that people are usually kind of like, ooh, I don't want to talk about
Wow.
that. Like, I don't want to think about that. And
Yeah.
it just brings them up and kind of forces you to look at that from a different perspective, from the perspective of death, of
And it
like,
also
Definitely
has
important, yeah.
a lot of cuts of Brad Pitt's face when he does his sort of semi-blank puppy dog
mm-hmm.
stare. Just a lot of that in that
Yeah,
movie.
yeah, there
You
is.
kind of forget that he's deaf.
Yeah, because he
It's
he
like, what?
plays he
I
plays
have
this
some
sort of
jokes.
like innocent character that just is, he's there to
Yeah.
do one job and then he finds out so much more about life and
Mm.
humanity during that one job that he has to do. And so he's got that like innocent puppy dog look on his face most of the time because he doesn't understand what's going on. He doesn't understand why humanity is the way it is. He's just there to take care of one task and then ends up learning so much more about humanity and everything. So I think that was it was a wild card for me for sure,
Gotta go.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
but I definitely appreciated that movie a lot.
Yeah.
It helped me process a lot of things when I was growing up, to be honest.
Yeah.
It helped me understand a lot about like why people are the way they are.
Mm.
That they're just, so many people are so focused, they're like laser focused on what they have to do. They're not worried about what other people are doing. And
Mm.
he kind of broadens that into a, well, how does this all work? Like what's all going on here? So
Mm.
anyways, that's mine. We're gonna go ahead and push on to Mayhem. Your next one, Mayhem, is another classic for me. Another one that almost made the list, but didn't because I
Rush
just
Hour 1.
I just have too
Oh, that's a
many.
good one.
Yeah, Rush Hour. It's an instant classic.
Yeah.
So, what
That's
made this
good.
one on your list?
It's just, I don't know, just it's funny, great action in it. I love, I love Jackie Chan movies forever
Oh yeah,
since they came out,
Yeah, they're
and
great.
yeah, it's just awesome. I love it.
dude. During the '90s and early 2000s, Jackie Chan movies were like they were all the rage.
Dude, his show was awesome.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
What show was
The
that?
cartoon.
Yeah, the cartoon.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I
I
remember
remember
that.
yeah,
that.
they called it
Yeah.
the Jackie Chan Adventures, right? I think it was
Yeah.
called.
It only lasted
Oh
like what, like
my
two
gosh.
seasons or something like that, but it was so
I don't
good.
know. It was so good. It was when Hollywood was like, I mean, still kind of racist or whatever, but like
Yeah.
phenomenal show.
Yeah, Jackie.
Hmm.
Yeah, Uncle, full accent and everything.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was probably can't watch that today, but
Chris Chris
No.
Tucker and Jackie
it
Chan
was
is
a good one.
amazing. Great combo. Chris Tucker and
Yeah,
Jackie
Chris
Chan.
Tucker was fucking hilarious in this movie.
And they're
Yeah.
making a number 4, which I don't know how, because isn't Jackie Chan like almost 80 now?
Yeah,
Oh
he's got to be
shit.
getting up there.
Yeah, I think Jackie Chan's like almost 80. Let me look.
Wow.
He can't be that old. He's probably in his 60s.
Uh,
No, he's older than
Ja-
60s,
man.
You think
He's
so?
at
Jackie.
least 70. Yeah.
Oh no, he's
Dang.
69 years old. He's gonna be
69.
Oh
70,
wait. Okay. All right.
69.
and he still does his stunts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was what always impressed me is that he always did his own stunts.
Yep.
That was
Oh,
always nice to know that
and
like it was always him doing it.
he rarely got hurt. Like he,
Yeah.
like oh my
I thought he got hurt all the time.
I would assume so. Well, there was
But yeah,
I can't remember what the name of the movie was, but there was one where he was like, because during like the credits, he would always show like his bloopers
Hmm.
during the movies, and there was one where he was like trying to slide through the slats of a ladder, and he just like wrecked his shins against the ladder, and
I
was
think I
just
tuxedo,
saw
like,
that.
I can't remember the
tuxedo.
name of that movie. No, it wasn't. It wasn't that. It was during. It was a '90s movie.
Uh,
It was older. It was like,
he did a lot of things with ladders. A
yeah,
lot.
yeah, he really did. Now that I think
You
about it,
think about
he was all about those ladders.
it. It's true. It's like half his act.
Oh
He's
yeah,
in with the ladder.
Yeah,
happy. I still got 6 more left. Oh
I know.
my god.
We're trying to push through. All right, so next
I know.
one is Snow's number 7, and this is on my list as well, I believe. Lord of the
Oh,
Rings.
Yeah, specifically, I would say probably to start with just the Fellowship of the Ring.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm with you
Um,
there. I flirted with the idea of putting a fellowship on mine, but it didn't make it. So I'm happy it made someone's list.
not gonna lie, I think that most movies that try to do the whole what the book said and this, and this, they usually fail like
yeah.
really hard and like making sure that the world is correctly shown or that they do the
Aragon.
fans right. Yeah, especially movies like that. And I think specifically this one, they didn't do a terrible job of displaying the world itself, and it seemed like they had a full understanding, and they had a cast that actually
Mm,
went out of their way to make sure that it was like something the fans would want. Specifically, the guy who
Yeah,
played fucking Aragorn,
yeah.
like
mm.
the Vigo, I forget what the fuck
Viggo
his last name
Mortensen.
is,
Viggo
but
Mortensen.
like they put their all into it, and it's one of the few times in like cinematic history where you can literally see how it could have gone worse, and they just did like all of the things correctly that at least for me that I would
Yeah.
love to have seen.
Well, I think
Yeah,
another good thing about these movies specifically is that they had so much material to work with because J.R.R. Tolkien was not someone who uh, was short on words ever. So if you've read the
yeah, it's
books,
beautiful.
like he
It's,
spends literal entire chapters just explaining what the Shire looks like.
yeah,
And so they had so much material, so it's like this was like the perfect book to make a movie out of
yeah.
because
I
it
mean,
had such a
you could
good
argue,
source material.
right? And if you read the Fellowship of the Ring, you it's well past the first 100 pages before even the first ring wraith sighting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like it's crazy.
But
it's
the
incredibly
fact
well
that
made.
they did this so like so well back in like what was this 2001 when it came out?
Yeah, it's something around that. Peter
Like and it
Jackson.
you can still watch it to this day and it still plays well.
Yeah, it's
Like
the way to
it's a
workshop those New Zealander
yeah.
people. Do a good job.
It's a timeless film for sure. One of my favorites, one of my
Absolutely.
all-time favorites. It's on my list, so I'm gonna go ahead and skip it on mine when I get to it. But I appreciate that. That's a really good one.
Phenomenal.
All right, next one for you, Zephyr.
Number 7, The Thing, 1982, director John Carpenter, music Ennio Morricone. Um, this is a horror movie.
Oh
My only
yeah,
my
holy
only
shit!
listing that's a horror. This
I
it
forgot about this movie.
speaking
I
of movies that hold up today, uh, the the effects they did, they're really rudimentary in um like technically, but in execution, they just nailed it. I mean, it was about um, you know, killing things with fire, right? It's like this virus that turns you. It. Oh my gosh, I. This was truly disturbing. What
Yeah,
they did with these puppets and these, they would like melt rubber to extend like an upside down head from someone's body that's like drooling from spike teeth, like in like grow spider legs and just chase people and all this shit. Like it was just if you just do a Google image search for John Carpenter's The Thing, or just say The Thing, you'll see the upside down head monster thing, and you'll see what I mean. It's just
yeah.
really. It's really messed up.
I'm gonna have
Um,
to Google that
I think,
on a page that I'm not currently viewing because I don't want to make. I want to make sure that it's safe for viewing.
That's fair.
yeah, it's
let's see.
funny because it's
Let's
like
see if I can find
early
it.
'80s, man. Like it's really um really rough going as far as cinema is concerned, and what they pull off with what they had is just I don't know how they could have done a better job. But yeah, and also the acting was great. It the people authentically seemed just absolutely terrified to be stuck on that base.
Oh,
I know,
it's
trying.
okay. I see what you're saying now. That picture
Huh?
is fucking disgusting. Holy shit.
There's a scene, and spoiler alert, but I guess like we said about '80s movies and spoilers, like
Yeah.
you'll be fine. There's a scene where uh, someone's on a table and they're using defibrillators to try and bring him back to life.
Yeah.
And he does the thing, you say clear, and they do the shock, and they say clear. And I think on the second or third one, his hands sink into his chest, and his chest on either side is just like all of a sudden are teeth, and they just like chop off his arms.
Oh my
When
gosh.
he's holding the defibrillators,
God damn.
and that's when the fucking the head like rises out with like these tentacles. Oh, and also the sound effects did a lot for this.
Yeah.
Because it was yeah. Anyway, I could
can
go on
imagine.
about
Did
this.
did you see the remastered one that came out in 2011?
No, I don't think I did. I'll have to check that
was,
out.
yeah, that one was pretty good too. So it's
Who?
even more bloodier.
I think it might
Oh,
be on
nice.
Plex. I'll have to check.
Great. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. By the way, when I was watching that defibrillating scene, I was eating ribs at the time, so I it had a bonus effect on
Yeah.
my appetite. I
Not
guess.
not
Oh, yeah.
pleasant times.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's mine.
Nice. All right, that's awesome. Yeah, I forgot about that movie almost completely. It's been so long since I've seen it. I'll have to watch that one again. Okay, so here's the next one on my list, and this was another kind of wild card for me, but I think it's worth a watch, and I think it's a very interesting, differently done movie that compared to what you normally see these days. So it's The Lighthouse. It's got Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe.
What? What
They-
a combo!
Yeah, they play lighthouse keepers, and
I've never even heard of this.
the movie basically depicts the insane descent into madness of someone.
I love
So
it already.
this guy, he gets a job taking care of a lighthouse with this older gentleman played by Willem Dafoe, and at first, like, so Willem Dafoe is like, oh, the only thing that keeps you sane here is if you drink, and otherwise, like, you're just gonna go crazy. And at first, Robert Pattinson, like, he's like, nah, I don't want to drink. Like, I want to stay sober, and like, and then he slowly starts like just falling down into this well of just insanity. There's a scene actually. The first time I saw it, I actually laughed hysterically when I saw it because there's this seagull just like fucking with him for a while, and he grabs the seagull by the neck and just beats it to death, like against the side of like a well. And I was just like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I had no idea. Like, yeah, like what is happening here? But it's a really interesting kind of lens into someone who's just slowly going insane. I think for me personally, like, I had to watch this movie like 2 or 3 times before I fully, like, truly understood what was actually happening. And so, like, for me, I had to watch it. I think the third time I was like, oh, that's what's going on. Because the first time you watch it, you don't even know, like, if Willem Dafoe's character is real. You start to question, like, who is even like existing in this movie, like who's real, who's not real, like what's actually happening, because it plays against your basic instincts, where you think, okay, well, I'm seeing it, so it must be real. No, not necessarily. Like, some of this shit is just like batshit crazy, and there's no way of knowing whether it's real or not. And so I think it's a really interesting take. And of course, Willem Dafoe is always amazing as an actor. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a role that he's been in that I haven't liked.
He does crazy pretty well.
Yeah, he does. And this was the first movie that I saw with Robert Pattinson in it that actually made me realize, like, oh, he actually might be a good actor. He doesn't just have to be a sparkly vampire. He can actually do some pretty good acting work. And so that's my next movie. Okay, we're gonna move on. We're trying to push through here. Next one for Mayhem is
Another OD. I pretty much love all three.
Jurassic Park.
Oh,
The first one is definitely the best.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
I'm a huge dinosaur fan.
So I remember when I was a kid, I used to take piano lessons, and the theme song from this movie was one of the first ones I played at a recital.
Oh wow.
Oh, good old Jill.
Yep,
Oh, yeah.
good old Jill. Yeah, oh yeah, I forgot we had the same piano teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were good days. Okay, so why did this make your list?
I was a huge dinosaur fan growing up, and this was like literally the first dinosaur movie I like watched that was actually not counting like Godzilla or nothing.
Yeah,
This was like a real dinosaur movie, and I've been a dinosaur fan ever since. I just love it. It's like
it's a
not
classic for sure.
bloody. Oh yeah, it's like what technology could probably do if they actually think to this day. Who knows what's happening like right now?
Yeah. Well, I think about it because... Oh, go ahead.
So, controversial opinion maybe, but besides the first one, all of them kind of suck.
I'm inclined to agree with you.
No,
I
yeah.
will agree with you.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
I think it's the exact same movie, just upgraded every time.
I think
Yeah,
the first one was definitely the best. The second one I thought was fairly decent. The third one, trash.
See,
And
all
then
the-
all the Jurassic Worlds, like, no, just don't even make them anymore. Just stop.
all they did was with the Jurassic Park movies was in the new movie just added new dinosaurs to it. It's like, okay, Jurassic Park 2, what can we add?
Yeah, because they
Okay,
had
let's
like the Megasaurus or whatever the fuck it was,
Yeah, and
the Megalodon or whatever it was.
yeah, it's like number 3. Okay, Jurassic Park 3, let's add the Spinosaurus. Okay,
Oh, the Spinosaurus, that's what it was. Yeah.
yeah, and like number 2, let's add like the little freaking compies and like miscellaneous shit.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
how-
I agree. They just kept like trying to one up themselves, and it didn't work.
It's a great concept if they just did a different story besides, oh no, the dinosaurs got out again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same story just told differently each time.
just
Like,
need to let it be after the first movie. Just let it be. Just kind of like the Matrix, you know.
well, I
Yep.
heard it. I heard they're making another trilogy.
God.
well, whatever his name, Crispy Rat, he's on board with the whole series now, so he's not gonna stop making those movies.
Yeah, so I'm heard it's supposed to be now. It's supposed to be between. This trilogy is going to be between World and Park now. What happens in the middle of it now? Like, makes
You know,
no sense.
this is what pisses me off about so many series is that they just don't let it lie. They
wanna
just
beat 'em to death until it
they
doesn't
have
make
to
any
keep
more money.
they have to keep poking it with a stick, you know, like, hey, can we make more money out of this? It's like, dude, just leave it alone.
Oh yeah, you got to think about it. Like, look, how many kids love dinosaurs out there? Like Christmas time, like all these. Okay, a new Jurassic Park movie. What's that mean? Okay, new.
Well,
T-Rex
and
movie.
that's fine. So, like, remaster the original and then just re-release it. I
yeah.
understand that, like, yes, an IP, like, if you don't touch an IP for a long enough time, then it eventually becomes like open to the public, and then anyone can touch it. And so that's why Disney keeps re-releasing their same movies over and over again, is because they have to touch their IPs so they don't lose them. But like, I think Disney does it better in the fact that they do their whole vault system. So they'll vault a movie for like 20 years, and then randomly they'll be like, "Oh, we're re-releasing it," and then that way they can touch their IP for whatever movie it is, and that way they keep their trademark on it, their copyright, whatever, hold on
Yeah,
it.
I'm probably gonna do two more since, well, whenever it's my turn. I'll do two more left.
Okay.
I know we still got five, but looking at the time, I think we're gonna have.
Yeah, we
five.
gotta hurry. So this is on Snow's list. This is Pulp Fiction.
No, what's to say? Pulp Fiction is fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah.
That's true.
It's extremely
worthy
quotable.
entry.
What'd you say?
It's a worthy entry. Absolutely.
It's really good. It has the comedy aspect. It's got extremely quotable moments.
Yep.
It's got a dramatic aspect that's phenomenal.
Super abstract.
Yeah, it's super out there too. Yeah, and it just feels like a comic book in real life.
Yeah.
And you can't go wrong with Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah,
He knows how to make a good story, for sure.
it's just really good.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. That was another one that almost made my list, but I keep picking these. Okay, so my next one, for example, is another wild card. But
Did you
we're
skip?
we're gonna go with you first. So
Okay. All right, number 6, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade,
oh
1989.
yeah, that's a
Director
perfect
Steven
one.
Spielberg, music John Williams. This
This is good.
this is a really good movie theater movie because it's just so well rounded. It has action. It has mystery, adventure. The whole thing is just so well, just like tight, tightly edited. Every scene has such is just such so soaked in meaning. There's nothing happens on accident. Everything is a precursor to something else, or
Yeah.
foreshadowing, or what. But and the cast is just wonderful. You got your Harrison Ford and his father, played by
Sean Connery
Don Connor. Yeah, there you go. He died not that long ago.
Jr.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is a classic. I love this movie. I still watch it every couple of years. I'll replay this.
yeah, and it's got Nazis. So what's not to love? I mean,
Exactly.
everyone loves a good Nazi.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say that, but I do love World War II themed movies.
Yeah, me too.
It's a really fascinating part of our history that you know what they say, like if you don't remember the past, you're doomed to repeat it. So I think it's important every so often to revisit the shit show that was World War II. Like, it's so amazing to me that like we came so close so many times to losing that war. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it could have easily been what is that show, The Man in the High Castle?
Oh yeah.
We could
That's
have
right.
easily become a situation like that so many times.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And we got so lucky on so many of our battles, like especially when we were pushing the Battle of the Bulge. Like, we got so lucky every single time we tried to push, and like we could have easily gotten our asses handed to us by the Nazis, and
Well, it was our
we didn't.
proximity. It was our proximity to the there's a whole ocean between us and them. So
Yeah.
it came at such a great cost, but it was obviously so worth it. And by the way, before we move too far past, I just have to mention, in my opinion, the best thing about Jurassic Park wasn't the dinosaurs. It's Jeff Goldblum.
Oh yeah,
That's just
he's great.
yeah.
that's just me.
You can't go wrong with Jeff Goldblum.
No,
Even in-
he's
even
the
in, like,
best
the-
dude ever. He's the
Life
best.
finds a way.
Even in that fucking Thor movie, he's still phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
All right, that's mine.
perfect.
Let's
I love that. Okay, so next one for me is one that came out fairly recently. This one was another one that I had to really kind of think about before I put it on. It's The Whale.
Oh, I haven't
So
seen that yet.
Brendan Fraser makes his
Ah.
return to acting, I guess, from in this movie. Well, his return to like major acting. He's done some character work here and there, but this was his first like big role in a long time. And he plays an overweight guy who is basically on the verge of death because of his overweight situation. He's basically eating himself to death, and the whole time he's just trying to reconnect with his daughter. He's trying to make amends. He's trying to basically just put his ducks in a row before he dies. I don't think this movie will be outdone for quite some time. To be honest, it's a really powerful movie. I'll be straight up honest. When I saw this the first time, I bawled my eyes out at the end. Like I was in tears. Like it was such a powerful story. The characters feel believable. They're real. It's like someone like the characters that they play. You feel like you could walk down the street and meet the same people. You know, they're real people. They're having real problems, and they're just trying to figure their shit out. And it's a really powerful movie. I think it deserves a watch from everyone. Yes, there are some very adult themes in that movie that obviously you wouldn't want to watch this with kids in the room, or you know, with someone who's sensitive to certain issues. But I think it's important. It's just like so. I watched Saving Private Ryan way back in the day, before it was so it was rated R, obviously, and I wasn't allowed to watch rated R movies when I was a kid growing up. But my parents actually sat down and watched this movie with all of our kids, like all of us kids, and they were saying they was basically like, yeah, we realize this is rated R and it's going to be difficult for you guys to stomach, but it's important to understand what's going on. This is an important situation. I think The Whale falls in line with that. It's in a very important situation to understand that like some people are actually dealing with some really fucked up situations, and they're just trying to make sense of it. And I think it's important to understand people and to help them, or at least understand them. So, anyways, that's mine. The next one on Mayhem's list. Ooh, this is another good one.
I sent you the thing, Kepi, for the last two. So we're gonna do it to the left. We don't get that much time. Lion King.
Oh, you want to do that one? Okay.
Yeah, we'll just skip.
Okay.
That was close to making my list. Yeah.
I do like the other ones.
The
too,
Lion King
but
was this is a classic too. All right, so what made this on your list?
it was the very first movie that ever made me cry.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, this was a tough one for me growing up.
I watched, and this was like one of the first movies I watched with my grandpa, and literally just watching Mufasa die, like I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah.
Still, and just watching Simba's reaction, like, did I just get him killed? Was that my fault? Like the whole time thinking like I killed my dad. Like during the whole movie too, like
Yeah.
he just had that eating away on him, and then Timon and Pumbaa like telling him, "Don't worry about it. It's okay. Everything will be fine." Like helping him out, like, and like but he's just eating him away.
Yeah.
Till later on in the movie, he gets the courage. He goes, "You know what? I'm going back. I gotta go fight my past."
Yeah.
And
This was a powerful movie growing up for me. Like, yeah, I think you're right. I think this was the first movie that actually made me cry growing up. When Mufasa dies and he's just like blaming himself the entire time. It was a powerful theme to deal with, especially as a kid.
Most of what made me cry about it was the music. For me, it was like
the music was
2/3 of
amazing.
The whole movie was the music. I could be affected that deeply if I just cue it up right now because
Yeah.
it's so well done.
I'm 34 years old, and I still sing Hakuna Matata and Can't Wait to Be a King, and
Yeah.
I'm still singing that stuff to this day. I'll admit it.
It's
Excuse me.
good.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, just so we're all clear, like Elton John was very much involved in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh, 100%.
Yep.
I think he wrote the entire soundtrack, and
Yeah, well, he was the soundtrack artist.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep. That's true.
Elton John's great. Like I still listen to Elton John.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same here.
no, he's got. Say what you will about. I mean, you can say whatever you want about him, but he's got talent.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's one thing you can't deny is he's got some amazing talent when it comes to like music composition, writing, even his voice alone is just powerful. Okay, thank you, Mayhem, for that. I appreciate that. Okay, next one on Snow's list, The Dark Knight. This was another one that almost made my list. I have so many that like almost made my list. God damn.
Like I think we already talked about the big points for Christopher Nolan here,
Yeah.
but it's just the Joker in this movie. Even taking out the whole history of Heath Ledger and what happened after the movie, but the movie itself, his performance is just like actually spectacular.
Oh yeah.
And like when I watched this, I was fucking convinced that guy was psycho, like legitimately just like bonkers in the head. This like and like, but he had his own like ethos too that he stuck to, and I was like, that's fucking great. That's actually scary.
Yeah. Dude, and that
Only
scene where
villain.
he's hanging from the building and he's just like, I think we're destined to do this, for years. And it's like, oh my god, like he already knows that this is like this is his goal in life is to just fuck with Batman.
So devious.
And that that why so serious?
Yeah,
Oh,
so horrible.
so good.
It's such a powerful line.
So who would you say is the best Joker? I'll put that out there. Is it?
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, as far as real life, as far as like in general, Mark Hamill.
Yeah, Mark Hamill was great, and the animated so
That's
good,
fair.
Yeah.
That is fair.
so good.
But yeah, as far as real life acting, Heath Ledger by a mile.
Yeah,
He owned that role, and it ended up owning him.
Yeah, and it's never been done better since.
No, never.
I couldn't believe it was Mark Hamill on the it was. I was an adult when I found out that it was him, and I'm like, what? What do you mean it's Mark Hamill? It's
Yeah,
an anime.
yeah. I didn't realize it either until I was
It's like,
much
what the
older.
hell?
That's a good one. I appreciate that. That's I love that movie. Okay, so next one for you, Zephyr. My headset keeps
Number 5.
unplugging.
Here's my other Studio Ghibli. Same director, Miyazaki, same music. Hisaishi, Princess Mononoke from.
Oh yeah, Princess Mononoke.
Oh man, what's
Hey.
this?
It's another Studio Ghibli film, and it's just these. Well, there's the realm of the humans that are just pitted up against these. Oh shit, man! How do you even describe this?
The
Kepi?
spirit of the forest.
Spirit of the forest. Yeah, there's like forest gods and forest
Yeah,
creatures.
there's the boars. You've got the little white guys that like shake their heads and
click.
click.
The wolves.
You got the wolves.
And the wolves. This really conveyed a feeling that was in its own right extremely disturbing in the way that it was so serious. It was
Yeah.
incredibly serious for like the most serious animated thing that I'd ever seen up to that point, and probably ever since, because it really gave you this feeling of war and of hatred
Yeah.
from the humans to the forest, the spirit of the forest. That the hatred is just so relentless, so real. It was just so unmistakable. And then the voices they got for the English dubs, you have Billy Crudup, Claire Danes,
Billy Bob Thornton,
Minnie Driver, Billy Bob Thornton, even Jada Pinkett Smith is in there.
Yeah.
Just
yeah,
like
it's crazy how many like talented actors they got for the English dub.
Yeah. So there was, and it's one of those things where some movies you feel the lore of it, that you could write trilogies about it, like J.R.R. Tolkien styled, just like
Oh yeah.
inexhaustible descriptions of that. That's just the feeling that it gives you. It was just so well done and so thoroughly just thick in emotion that I it must have made me cry a few times just because of there are scenes where the one Prince Ashitaka
Yeah. Ashitaka.
approaches
Ashitaka.
approaches the princess, the wolf princess, and he just keeps getting hurt, but he keeps going, like he's motivated by love, but he just keeps getting fucked over, like,
Yeah.
and it doesn't stop. He was like trying to bridge this gap, that the hatred from these two sides that's created for each other. Like, it's just so amazing. Anyway, so
It's a
that's
really
my,
powerful story.
yeah,
Yeah,
super
that's one of my favorites too. I'm gonna have to take that one off my list because that was on my list. So
yeah, the music again.
yeah, the music
like
was amazing too.
nearly half the thing. Really, really good.
All right, perfect. Yeah, that's again another one of my favorites for sure. So this is going to be my next one. This one is a very recent movie that just came out. Seven Kings Must Die: The Last Kingdom.
Oh, your boy toy.
Yep, you know my boy Uhtred. I would do terrible, unforgivable things to be with that guy.
I haven't even heard of this.
Oh, have you seen the series,
Which series?
The Last
This
Kingdom?
is a TV show, The Last Kingdom. Yeah.
So
No.
so the series is based off a series of books, which is loosely based on history in I think it's ninth century England. So you have King
Okay.
Alfred the Great, who's trying to unify England against the Danes, the Vikings. And then you have his son Edward, who is also trying to unify the English. And then you have his son Ethelstan, which is the first king of England. So this movie is based on Ethelstan's story, and Uhtred plays a character who is actually not a real life character. He's based off of several different actual real life people from the past who lived in Bebenberg, or modern day Banbury, I think it's called. And this castle is still standing to this day, and so he plays the Lord of Bebenberg, and he's trying to basically keep the peace between the Danes and the English, the Saxons. And so this movie takes place after the whole series ends. So there was, I think, 5 seasons of the series on Netflix, and then the movie takes place at the end of that. So basically, there's an uneasy peace between the Danes and the English, and Uhtred is trying to just keep the peace. Turns out that one of the Danish lords sails over from Ireland, where he's been a conqueror over in Ireland, and he's trying to take over Scotland and England. And so he's trying to he's trying to incite war between all the Danish and English kings. There's Wessex, there's obviously Northumbria, Mercia, all the different kingdoms, Wales. And so he's basically just inciting war between everyone so he can take over. And so Uhtred's job is to try to bring them all back together to defeat this Danish conqueror. Really good story. The whole series is amazing. It's probably going to be something where I think the next podcast we do is going to be top 10 series, TV series. And this is definitely going to be on that. It's something that I think I've seen the whole series like 6 or 7 times now. And I love it. It's an amazing series, and this movie was an amazing end to that series. It ended almost perfectly. The only thing I wish that would have happened was something I won't spoil, but there's one
Thank you.
thing that was missing, and that's it.
Okay.
But
I'll have to revisit that once I watch.
really great movie. Okay, Mayhem. The last one you sent me was
Yep, it teaches me who you're gonna call.
this one.
Oh god.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, we were actually
I
listening
mean,
to a
okay.
remix of that song when I first started the stream.
Good old Ray Parker Jr.
What?
Ray Parker Jr. was who sings Ghostbusters, right? Everything.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just listening to a remix of it.
Must be like 1,000 of those.
Yeah, probably.
Yes, but Ghostbusters is a great movie. I loved.
All right. So what about this movie made your list?
I don't know, just something I could just sit back, enjoy, like watch at night, like when I'm in bed. It's funny. It had a great cast.
Bill
Bill
Murray, man.
Murray, yeah,
Yeah.
Bill
Bill
Murray,
Murray.
awesome.
Bill
Because
Murray's
I don't know.
he's a national treasure.
Truly.
You can't go wrong
I
with Bill
don't-
Murray.
I'm not a big fan of the new ones.
No, absolutely not.
Like the kids one and then the old female one. Like I don't know. Like they ruined them. They should have just kept Ghostbusters like done.
Yep.
Like yeah, it's cool that they brought in Bill Murray for all of them, but they should have just left it be.
I think that's a
Sure.
common theme that we've discussed tonight is like just stop touching shit. Like let it lie.
Yeah, stop trying to change.
Stop
classic
poking with the
movies.
classics.
Yes.
I agree 100%. No, this was
Oh, yeah.
this was a really good movie when I was a kid growing up. I loved it.
I've actually never seen it.
You've never seen it?
I've never seen Ghostbusters.
What the fuck?
Wow. I think that's a
Number-
first for me.
Number two is awesome because they literally freaking walk around with the Statue of Liberty.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's alright.
The first one is still the best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Kind of-
I appreciate that. Okay,
Go ahead,
Snow, yours. Ooh,
I don't
This
know if you
one-
wanna
this
skip
one's
to
a
your
good
last
one. I think we got time for one more each.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
One more each. I got 4, man.
I know, me too. I've got so many more, but like some of them have been already talked about. Lord of the Rings. So this is Spirited Away, another Miyazaki film that's a classic.
Hmm.
All right,
Yeah, absolutely.
what's your reasoning for this one?
Spirited Away is one of the first Ghibli films that I saw because it was one of the first ones I saw that were like always on TV and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And like, I don't highly resonate with like a female character who loses her mom and dad and the whatever thing, but like just the adventure that she goes on. Oh my god, the food,
oh my
Fucking
gosh,
phenomenal.
yeah, they do that so perfectly.
the animation, and I mean in all of these kind of movies, but especially this one for me, is like the animation is like incredibly top tier.
Yeah.
And like the entire story itself is like interwoven in itself, and you could tell they had a plan when they made it, and it just fucking it feels so great to watch.
I think
And
this,
like, everything makes sense.
yeah, no, I think this was the first animated movie where like I saw them eating food and I actually got hungry.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my god, that ramen looks so good right now. Like, I just want to eat that shit. No, this is and that old lady, oh my gosh, the way they animate the old lady.
Yeah. And
Like-
like look at it. Like that it just looks phenomenal.
Yeah. It's not like, okay, so you have different versions of anime. There's like Dragon Ball Z style where it's like kind of choppy, like they kind of cut corners wherever they can to
Yeah,
make
primitive.
it quick. And then you have this kind of stuff where it's like everything is done painstakingly, like the animation is smooth, it's beautiful, it's just
It's
an
classic
amazing
Ghibli.
it's an amazing experience to watch. I really appreciate that, Snow. That was going to be on my list too, to be honest, but I had too many Miyazakis to choose from. All right.
It's good. It didn't really grab me the way it did most people. But I still appreciated it. Certainly.
My top Miyazaki was definitely Princess Mononoke.
Yep.
Same.
But I love all of his films.
Yeah.
Totoro, everything else. Okay, so Zephyr, your next one.
Did you
And
say we have time for
sorry,
one last?
this is going to be our last one each.
Okay. Well, then I could just skip to my number one,
Okay.
and that's Contact, 1997.
Oh yeah.
It's top of the list because it's such a great metaphor for my life. Not the whole like finding alien signals or anything, but what ends up being kind of the main message of the movie, and that's we all that we have is each other,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole premise is kind of well, it's built up on this kind of science versus religion type thing
Yep.
because the love interest, the Matthew McConaughey is like this priest guy that's religious, whatever, and then there's the scientist, Jodie Foster's character,
Yeah.
who you know is kind of overly dismissive of the religious guy's views and stuff, and but they're still like into each other, and they don't really know what to do
It's an interesting
about
dichotomy for sure.
it is, and that's one of the reasons why it fits so well with where I am now is because you know I was raised religious and I found my way out of it, but
Yep.
I'm kind of finding my way back to it in a different way, not in a way that I'm interested in it personally for myself, because I don't believe in God,
Right.
but I I believe in people, and I believe in people's experiences and what they value the most, and that oftentimes is religion.
Yeah.
So I ask people all the time, what does God mean to you? Just tell me. I want to hear, I want to listen to your
Yeah.
experience having to do with God, having to do with religion or belief or spirituality, whatever you want to call it, because people are the most interesting, beautiful thing about existence, in my opinion. So um, it plays into the final message of the movie is what we have is each other. You
Yeah.
know, don't take that for granted. And um, so yeah, this like I said, it's another Robert Zemeckis film. Same guy who did Forrest Gump. Music by Alan Silvestri, and yeah, the music is wonderful,
Yeah. It
just
really
beautiful,
is.
orchestral. Um, yeah, it really
It's very,
conveys the
very
feeling.
deep and like it matches each scene perfectly.
Yeah. So then, again, this was in '97, right? So I was still a little kid, but it's still I still got the gist of it. Like I
Mm-hmm.
still understood what the director was going for, and it affected me so deeply. I remember coming out of the theater, and I was like, "What the hell was that?" Like I just
Yeah.
had to just take a moment, take it in, and it, I rewatched it several times later on in my life, and it just keeps proving to be relevant and so inspiring in new ways each time I see it.
Yeah.
Um, because it reminds me of that main theme, but that main theme is it means more to me every time I'm reminded of it because I'm older and I learn new ways of appreciating other people and their experiences. So yeah, that's my number one for those reasons.
Perfect.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I remember seeing this movie when I was a kid in theaters too. It was really good.
Yeah.
I need to revisit it again. Okay, so I can't really pick a number one for me, but I'm just gonna hurry and like quick fire a couple things. So I did have Lord of the Rings on there, but we already talked about it, so we're not gonna revisit that. The Harry Potter movies.
Oh, great.
Surprisingly, like when the books first came out, I did not want to read them.
Me neither. I wasn't interested.
Everyone was into it, and I was kind of that like I was trying to be that edgy person where I'm like, oh, I'm not into that stuff, like. And so like I neglected the books for years, And then I think it was my 10th grade English teacher. We had to read books, once a semester,
What
and
was
do
her
a book
name?
report. It was Mrs. What's her name? She was the 10th grade honors teacher.
Mm,
Jody or something like that. I can't remember.
no, I don't think I
She
met
was
her.
she was a younger teacher.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I remember. I know who you're talking about, though.
Yeah, it was her. And so she was like, so the book assignment this semester is Harry Potter. You have to read it. And I was like, oh shit, I don't want to read this. And
That's
my
cool.
my
I
mom
see
was
that.
super against it too, because she thought that like witchcraft and all that stuff was like,
Oh
it's
no, your
devil
mom
worship.
bought into that. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
You know what's funny is that she ended up reading all the books too.
Of course she did. She was
Yeah.
a very smart lady.
Yeah. But yeah, she was really resistant to it. She actually went and talked to my teacher and tried to get me out of it.
Oh my
And at
gosh.
that point I was like, "All right, mom, like enough. Like I'll just read the book and call it good." So I read the book. It was amazing. Really good series. And
The
then I
first
saw the
one?
movies. Yeah, the first one. And then I saw the movies and I thought, "Okay, this is actually a really good interpretation of the books. This is actually
Mm,
really well done."
yeah.
It's sad that the actor who played Dumbledore died after I think it was the second movie. He passed away,
Yep.
and they had to change it to what's his face.
Michael
But
Gambon?
yeah, Michael Gambon.
Hmm.
But yeah, I thought they were really well done. One of my favorite movies. I still rewatch them, every couple of years. The other one I have on my list that I don't think anyone else has on their list is Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, that's good.
This is a
That's a good choice.
this is a classic movie, and it was actually filmed. Part of it was filmed in my hometown.
Really?
Yeah, it was filmed. Where the old Word Perfect buildings were.
No way.
That scene where they jump the fucking car. That was
What?
filmed there.
Why didn't I? How could I not have known this?
Yeah,
That's insane.
yeah, it was crazy. So yeah, part of it was filmed where I grew up. So I have kind of a special connection to it there.
Now I do. Sudden.
And but it's a hilarious movie. Like Jim Carrey does a perfect like idiot.
Floyd.
Like he is just he plays the epitome of stupidity. And same thing with yeah, Jeff Daniels. They're perfect together when they play stupid people. And like that whole scene where like you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world, and they just like drive the dude insane in the middle of the
Yeah.
car. Oh, I love that movie. So that's
Yeah.
probably going to be a tie for my number one between that and Harry Potter. I think those are a good tie. Okay, Mayhem. I think you already gave me your number one.
Yeah.
So if you don't have anything else,
I
um,
just have like Aladdin, Bad Boys, and Deadpool on there, but
yeah,
sorry.
Deadpool was a good one for sure. Ryan Reynolds does that role really well.
So well.
Bad Boys is another classic. Aladdin, one of my favorite movies
Oh,
as a
God,
kid
yeah.
growing up.
Cartoon Aladdin.
Hmm.
Cartoon Aladdin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the live action one I don't think I've even seen. Okay,
But yeah,
Snow.
we can skip number one. So for Snow.
Oh yeah, I'll do my number one.
Yeah, what's your number one, Snow?
Fucking Treasure Planet.
Dude,
Alright,
that's
good.
one of my favorite movies. I fucking love that movie.
Oh,
I don't know if I feel like it's underrated or just it just wasn't like watched very well, but like I have never watched a movie that more resonated with me as a young man than that movie.
Dude, that song that plays with what's his face from the Goo Goo Dolls,
Yeah.
one of my favorite songs.
It's just a fucking phenomenal movie. The music is great and like the story itself is kind of phenomenal. I know it's kind of based off of like I forget what the book is called.
Treasure
but
Island.
It's based off Treasure Island, but like a futuristic setting, and
Yeah,
it's pretty fucking phenomenal to be honest.
it really is.
I used to when I used to go to sleep watching this movie as a kid because it provided me so much comfort.
Yeah. No, it's a classic for sure. That one and Titan AE were two of my favorite shows growing up.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, that's a good answer. Okay, Zephyr, top movie.
Well, Contact was my number one.
Oh yeah, that's
but
right. Sorry, I
I'll
forgot.
I'll rapid fire my number 4, 3, and 2.
Okay.
So number 4 is What's Up Doc from 1972.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it has Barbara Streisand and Ryan O'Neal.
Yep.
Brought Barbara Streisand. Um, so I watched this a lot as a kid because it was just a family favorite. That's kind
Mm-hmm.
of we quote this movie a lot in my family. And when I grew up more, I watched it again and I was like, holy shit, Barbara Streisand is fucking hot. Like in
Oh yeah, she was a babe
1970.
back in the day.
Oh my gosh. Like it was insane. Just the also the raw 70s ness of the
Yeah.
whole movie. I loved it. Anyway, so that's number 4. Number 3, All Quiet on the Western Front,
Oh,
2022.
another good one.
Um, takes place World War One between France and Germany. It's mostly in German with subtitles, some
Yep.
French. Um, amazing depiction of war.
Yeah.
Beautifully done, beautifully directed. Just magnificent scenes of brutality, but also contrasting and yeah, it's a wonderful film. In fact, the first film I was able to watch all the way through after my separation from my ex-wife, it
Yeah.
actually held my attention long enough to be able to overcome my seasonal ADHD. It did it for me, man. It was amazing. So number 2, Hook,
Oh
1991.
yeah.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's a really
Yep,
classic one.
Steven Spielberg,
Good
John
old
Williams.
who was it that played Hook? It was who?
Dustin Hoffman.
Yeah, Dustin Hoffman. He does a
And Robin
perfect Hook.
Williams, of course. Wonderful, imaginative retelling, the best one that I know
Yep.
of Peter Pan. My all-time favorite Peter Pan depiction. But you were talking earlier about in Spirited Away how it made you hungry, it made you think of food. Remember the scene where they
Oh yeah, where they
imagine?
have all the imaginary food.
Yeah, that made me hungry, man. I
Yeah,
thought
no,
that
that was. I
that shit looked
remember
delicious.
thinking like, why can't like that be real? Like, why can't we
Yeah,
have stuff like that?
right.
Because it all looks so good.
It
Well,
was.
yeah, I really appreciate it, guys. We're running out
Yeah.
of time here.
Yep.
Snow's got a stream in like 2 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you all so much for joining. I really appreciate your guys' input.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Kepi.
We're going
It
to
was
try to
fun.
do this again next week. The plan is top 10 series. So think
Okay.
about your top 10 shows.
Right
And
on.
if you can make it, I'd love to have you guys here. If not, I understand. But we will do our best to be here again at about 3 p.m. MST. That's going to be 5 p.m. EST, 2 p.m. PST. So, love you guys. Appreciate you. Real proud of you. And I hope to see you guys again soon.
All right. See ya.
Thank you,
All right.
Kepi.
Have a great night, guys. I'm going to join Snowstream, but yeah. We'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Later.
Hell yeah.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and. Are you live yet?
No. I'm about to. I just was waiting for votes for 7 o'clock.
Okay. I'll go ahead and just end stream,
It looks like it's gonna be golf.
And
Press the
then-
button in a couple seconds.
and then I'll hop over.